Still waiting for rent money from my ex. I'm determined to erase any remnants of him. I throw out most of his things, including a hideous, dilapidated dresser from his childhood. I drag that thing down to the basement for the super to dispose of. Next up, his name. I never wanted to take his last name. I caved to keep the peace and appease him. For a while, I tried hyphenating our last names, but that was cumbersome, pretentious. I never changed my social security card. I tried. The line snaked around the social security office, and after an hour, I gave up, went home, which turned out to be a godsend. His name never suited me. Up first, change the name on my credit card. I dialed the number, listened to the prompts until I reached a customer service person and explained my situation. The woman is rather snippy and informs me, well, you need to have a divorce decree to change your name. I don't have a divorce decree. This isn't happening. A couple of days later, I decide to try again using a different strategy. This time, I tell the representative in my sweetest voice, I hope you can help me. I'm getting married and I need to change my name to my husband's. The woman squeals. Oh, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. She changes my name. Back to Dalton. No questions asked, no documents needed. Henry calls. He's planning to be in the city and invites me to brunch. He's 2 months behind on his rent payments. I assume he'll pay me the money he owes me. We're meeting at a quaint restaurant on the corner of Amsterdam and 80th. Henry's still his handsome self, but my heart doesn't leap at the sight of him. In fact, he's alien to me, affable, but uncomfortable. Is he nervous? Yeah, I think of him as so relaxed, so cool hand Luke, calm, cool, in control. We exchange cordial hellos. I'm hungry. I order scrambled eggs, hash browns, toast. Henry orders a bowl of fruit. Beverly Hills Diet? How'd you figure that out? Please, this is the latest hot, trendy diet, and Henry, always concerned about his weight, is susceptible to Hollywood's stringent physical standards and the unattainable lifestyle. There's a name for a person obsessed with their appearance. It's called California syndrome and is reserved for the rich, white, and good-looking. 2 out of 3. Beverly Hills Diet. You only eat fruit before noon. Right. He drops his fork on the floor. Are you nervous? You appear nervous. For some reason, I'm so not intimidated by Henry. He comes across as small, insecure. You look so healthy and fit, Jill. You've lost weight. Here come the compliments. Aerobics. He smiles. I fake smile back because I want my money. So you're doing stand-up comedy? Every night, if I can. Incredible. Now, how's it going? What's it like? Tell me a joke. Oh, he's so interested in my career all of a sudden. I'll play along. Well, this is a bit I'm working on. I don't dare start with the motion picture producer. So I start here. I'm separated. My friend Marie keeps bugging me to date. You need to go back into circulation. It's like riding a bike. You never forget. Marie, it's 1991. I can't date. I was married for 14 years. The last time I dated, AIDS was a diet candy. Besides, who the hell wants to date? What's the point? Oh, hi. I'm auditioning for a part in your life. I don't think so. I auditioned for Oliver Stone. I'm not auditioning for some short, fat, burnout, broke, bald guy. For what? To get married again? Serve another 5 to 10? Maybe get off with 3 for good behavior? Yeah, I don't think so. Henry's been inching further and further back into his chair. Wow, terrific. His response shocks me. I I think you're going to be super successful, Jill. Make a lot of money and do a TV show like that Rhett Butler girl. Brett Butler? Oh, I love correcting him. He nods. Brett Butler's been performing stand-up for 12 years. Success doesn't happen overnight. You need to hone your craft, develop an act in front of an audience, which takes time and tremendous dedication. Oh, come on. It won't take you that long. Something's up. I've got a weird feeling that whatever this is, this doesn't bode well for me or my financial situation. So, why did you want to meet? Well, um, he toys with a piece of cantaloupe, which I expect will soon fly off his plate and land across the room. Turns out this movie stuff is taking longer than anticipated. What's that got to do with me? Well, money's tight. I'm sorry. It may be a couple of months before I can send you any. Oh, here we go. You're 2 months behind already. I know. I'll catch up soon. I promise. We're just waiting for the funds. And can you believe this? He's so cavalier. I'll just be a couple of months. How am I supposed to survive? The landlord isn't going to wait. Should I tell the landlord? Oh, don't worry. I'll have the funds in a couple of months. The funding's late. This guy? I've had it with this guy. This entitled snake. That's why he invited me to brunch. Of course, to inform me he's not giving me my money. Stay calm. Detach. Worst case scenario, you'll use another predatory check. Supplied compliments of my Visa card. Okay. I paid the last 2 months' rent with them. So far, I owe $3,500. By the time I can pay off the debt at 30% interest, I'll owe 35 grand. I gotta get my money. Henry sucks at money. He always has. Why would now be any different? After Henry passed the bar, he was making excellent money working on movies, so I put him in charge of paying the bills. I figured, yeah, he needed to take some responsibility, pull his weight. Another stupid mistake on my part. One afternoon, Henry answered a knock at our apartment door. There were muffled sounds of a man's voice, but I couldn't make out the conversation. Henry returned to the bedroom, shaken. What's going on? Our rent's late, and the landlord told me I need to pay. So pay him. Well, I don't have the money. What? What do you do with all the money you're making? I'm curious. You need to take money out of your IRA and pay the rent. Well, no. I'm not withdrawing money from my IRA. Don't worry. We don't have debtor's prison in this country. After Henry moved to LA, from time to time in our mailbox, I'd find a postcard from a gentleman's club encouraging him to return. I assume he gave his earnings to the strippers. I am so over him. Is he still talking? Spare me. Of course, he's gushing all over me with his newfound interest in my non-existent stand-up career. He's an operator, a salesman, and I'm supposed to be a gullible mark sucked in by a carnival barker. You're going to make lots of money, book a TV show. Well, I'm hip to your tricks, dude. Manipulate somebody else. Your voodoo is powerless here. I'm no longer the naive little wifey you can control and deceive with your pseudo con man charms. This guy is a piece of work. My insides turn hard. My jaw tightens. I'm steel like RoboCop, resurrected to clean up the streets. I put my fork down. My appetite has disappeared into thin air like Siegfried and Roy vanishing a tiger. I pretend to smile, but inside, I hide my resolve like a card shark, holding a royal flush, waiting my turn. Inside, I'm going, I like watching Henry squirm. Oh, yeah, it's time to take action. Legal action, because I'm going to get my money. Oh my God. Thanks for watching, you guys. This guy's a piece of work. So I have a question for you. Have you ever had to take legal action to get what was owed you? And if you were in my shoes, what would you have done differently? Now, here's a little technique I want to tell you about that I used on Henry, that I learned in 12 step, but it's also taught by the Stoics and Michael Singer. When you're in a highly charged situation, detach, step back behind your eyes, observe, become the observer. Don't hook in emotionally. It is like playing poker. That's why they call it poker face. The other person can't read what's going on. And this gives you the advantage. They start spinning out. They're not getting what they need from you. You're not hooking into their bullshit. I had to practice. It took me a while to figure out how to do it, but once you figure it out, it's fun and it gives you the power. Okay. Questions. Oh, this is one that I forgot from last week. When we talked about putting my stories into a Netflix series, the question was, who would I like to play me in the series of my life? I'm going to say Jennifer Lawrence, but I would love to hear your suggestions. All right. Question. Oh, someone asked me if I would do a solo show. I've done 3 solo shows. It takes so much time, energy, money, effort. It is a gigantic endeavor. And because New York City is so expensive now, theaters cost a fortune. And it would be really hard for me to do that. But never say never. Also, my director, who I worked with for like 15 years on 2 of my solo plays, he doesn't live in New York anymore. He moved back to Rhode Island, which is where he's from. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Do I have footage of my stand-up? Yeah, I had tapes made of my stand-up, but we no longer use those formats. You have to realize that was the early 90s. I sent them away so they could be updated to a different format that we could actually play now. But there's something weird going on with the footage because when I put it into iMovie, it only plays the sound. So I put it into this other program where it plays the sound and the visual. But then when I exported it, it only played the visual. So they're not connecting. So I have a friend who's very good at this stuff. And he told me I could send it to him and he's going to try to figure it out. And then I could post something, which would be really fun. Okay, stand up. Oh, someone brought up the fact that doing stand up is like honing your skills as a musician. And in some ways, I guess it is because you have to practice. But the difference is you can only hone your skills in stand up in front of an audience because you don't know what works and what doesn't work. The audience lets you know. Plus, you have to figure out timing. You have to be able to work with an audience. You need stage time. That's the deal. So that's the difference, I guess. I mean, you can't practice in your living room. I'll put it that way. You just need to be in front of a live audience. All right, question. What made me stop doing stand-up? Well, I did it for 4.5 years. I finally was getting good and I quit. And there are a few reasons why. In New York City, you can't make money doing stand-up unless you are a headliner and you're headlining a big club. Then you're going to get paid. Rest of the time, you're either making zero or $10. It may be more now. Maybe you get $20 for a set. I don't know because I haven't done it in a really long time. So I wasn't making any money and I had to make money. What else? Oh, do I miss stand-up? You know what I miss? I miss the idea of stand-up because when you're up there, it's really fun when the audience is getting you and it's you can play with the audience and they're having a good time. It's such a blast. There is nothing better. But all the other stuff that goes along with it, and especially when I was doing it in the 90s, they didn't like women in stand-up. They gave us a hard time. It was hard to get past at a club. I was told I was too intelligent by one club owner. It was just not that welcoming. It was a big rigmarole. If I was starting now, believe me, I've thought about going back, but forget it. Someone asked me they want to know more about my acting experiences, which I'm going to do more videos about that. I do have a lot of videos on my site that are about acting experiences, everything from working with William Hurt to my soap opera stuff, my audition for Scorsese, losing a job because of O.J. Simpson. But I think I need to organize them so they're easier to find out. I have to figure out how to do that. All right, someone wanted to know which jokes got the most laughs. Who knows? Depends on the audience, depends on the night, depends. You never know. But the way you know something is funny is if the audience laughs, it's funny. If they don't laugh, it's not funny. How long did I do stand up? 4.5 years. How did I handle hecklers? Ooh, that's a great question. Because especially newer comics, they would be hostile toward hecklers and they'd be fighting them and screaming at them, and it would just kill the room. It would suck the air out of the room. And when you had to follow that, there was nothing there. The audience was like, ugh, what the hell just happened? I would listen to an interview with Jerry Seinfeld, and he said the way he handled hecklers he would act like he was the therapist and they were the patient. So that's what I did, and it worked. It worked like magic. I had so much fun with it. It was like, oh, it was just great. It gave me freedom. It gave me a point of view, and it was a blast. And I think I'll probably talk about some of those heckles that they just come out in the moment, your answers to them, because you're on a heightened, when you're on stage like that and you're by yourself, you're in a heightened state of awareness. And as long as you're just in the zone and not up in your head, it's amazing what can just be dropped in to help you out. All right, I think that's it for the questions. I just want to thank everyone so much for being here and for supporting my channel. I love that you're here. I love that you are watching my videos. It means the world to me. And I want to give a special shout out and thank yous to everyone who bought me a coffee or special thanks. All right, so thank you to Dorothy M, Kevin K, Kate G, Eileen M, Sue R. Thank you. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, because I noticed a lot of people watch the channel, but they're not subscribed. And the more that subscribe, the better it is for the algorithm. So I would really appreciate it, you guys. Oh, and I think what I'm going to do is put a little clip about the Hands Off rally in New York City that I went to on Saturday. I tried to do a whole thing, but the noise in New York City is so that it's just crazy. So I'll just do a little clip because it's about bagpipes and it's beautiful. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful that you're here. We all just have to keep breathing, keep trusting. This too shall pass. Okay. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.